What's going on, you guys? Theo here with the big review, and I just wanted to do a quick intro. It's been a while. How's it going, guys? So I just wanted to do a quick intro and let you guys know we're going to do another giveaway. I had totally spaced on, and it's just been crazy here for the past few weeks, but I had totally spaced on the fact that we did not do a giveaway, since we like to do these every 100 or so subscribers for 600 subscribers, so forgive me. So we're going to go ahead and do a second round of guild invites for my guild. So we're going to do it the same way as we did it in the past. Basically, all you've got to do, if you look at my About section, but I will make sure to have it should be down here somewhere in this area, the email that you will want to send this information to. But all I need from you guys is to send me an email if you're interested in entering the giveaway and getting into a active guild. We're going to be giving away 4 slots total, so going to be one more slot than the last one. And basically, all you got to do is send me a screenshot of your roster and then your name here on YouTube. Now, this is going to be for subscribers only, as always, so if you are not subscribed, hint, hint, go ahead and do so. But go ahead, make sure you're subscribed, send over that information to the email address you should be seeing somewhere in here. I don't know. You'll see it on your screen. But send that to the email that you'll see there, and we'll get you into the drawing. I will have this going for the next 4 days, so you're going to have 4 days total to enter. And from there, me and my lovely guild leader, King Tyar, will go ahead and pick from those entries the best 4, and you will be in the guild. And we will send you information via email on how to go ahead and get that process started. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is there's actually a second giveaway that I'm going to talk about, and that is going to be for 700 subscribers. So once we hit 700, right now we're about 60 or so away, so we're getting close. Once we hit that, we're actually going to be giving away a gift card for either iTunes or Google Play. So it doesn't matter which platform you're on, we're going to be giving away a gift card at 700 subscribers. So we'll have details on how to win that gift card at some point whenever we get closer to that time. But the point is, if you are not subscribed, make sure you do so, because once we hit 700 subscribers, all subscribers will be eligible to win a gift card, and it should be a pretty nice one. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to do this quick intro. It has been crazy getting this video up today, so I'm going to get out of here, but you guys enjoy the rest of today's video, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace. What's going on, everybody? Theo here with the big review, back yet again with another King of Fighters Allstar video, and I was of the opinion that this video today was absolutely cursed. If you had any idea how many hoops I've had to jump through to get this video recorded and uploaded today, oh man, it has been crazy. But anyway, guys, we are back with another daily upload. If you haven't already done so, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. So today we are going to be having our normal Saturday chat and chill session, which I always look forward to. Hopefully you guys enjoy them as much as I do. And this is the one video a week where we're able to kind of sit down, kick back, relax, and just have a casual discussion about the goings-on in the King of Fighters All-Star community and in the King of Fighters universe, and just kind of chat about certain things that are on our mind. So this week I figured, since we're give or take about a month or so away from a new collab, given kind of the way things are going, I figured I would sit down and have a conversation about a couple of different collab ideas that I'm interested in, that I would like to see in the game. Now, by no means are these predictions by any stretch of the imagination. These are just things that I would be interested in seeing added into the game. These are also going to be ideas primarily that have already been thrown out there in the past, because as they say, there's no such thing as an original idea these days. But hey, you know what? These are things that I love, and hopefully you guys enjoy them. But I definitely want to hear from you guys in the comment section about different ideas you might have for collabs in the future that you want to see. And it can be anything, you know, be crazy. I mean, heck, we've gotten a WWE collab at this point, so who knows, they could go anywhere with it. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. These are in no kind of order at all, so we're just going to talk about these kind of off the cuff, off the top of my head. But the first one that I would like to see is one that I've seen a lot of people talking about lately, and it is one that has collabed with a lot of different games over the course of the past couple of years, so I feel like it definitely has the potential to happen, and that is going to be Attack on Titan. So whenever you talk about Attack on Titan, I mean, what else is there to say about Attack on Titan, right? Attack on Titan is incredible. Most people that watch anime, they watch it, they love it, they enjoy it. It's one of those animes that is going to stand the test of time and be considered to be one of the greatest animes ever created by the time we get 10, 15, 20 years down the road. And, you know, that's for good reason. And I'm a huge fan of the anime myself. Actually, my first love in gacha games was an Attack on Titan game, and it was a Japanese account as well, so that shows you how dedicated to that I was. But I've been reading the manga for years, watching the anime for years. Unfortunately, it is about to come to an end. We're in the final season of the anime, as well as down to the last 2 chapters of the manga. So, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. But when it comes to a potential Attack on Titan collab, I think that a lot of people overcomplicate it. Usually the first thing that people bring up whenever you bring up this topic as a collab, people ask about, well, what happens, how do you do Titans in this game? And I feel like that's a pretty straightforward conversation. You know, really, you just, obviously with the 3D maneuvering gear and the blades and all those different things, it's pretty easy to incorporate characters from the Scout Regiment, you know, whether you're talking about, obviously, Eren or Mikasa or Armin or Levi or any of these characters that would be potentials for this type of collab. If you're talking about Titan Shifter abilities, I think you just relegate those to the finishers, obviously. You just have them be in their normal 3D maneuver gear in general for the regular character, and then for the finishers where it is necessary, you have those characters be able to transform and shift into the Titans in a pretty cool cinematic finisher, and there you go. Pretty easy. Now, this has been a IP that has collabed with Netmarble in the past, recently with 7 Deadly Sins, so I do think that there's potential there. Whether it ever happens, who knows, but I do think with how things are going with Attack on Titan right now, being that it is in its end game and things are getting ready to kind of wind up and wrap up this year, it would make sense for that to be a collab that they would explore with this game, and I think a lot of people would welcome that. This anime obviously has a ton of fans the world over, and even though it can be divisive at times with some of the themes that go on with it, it is still one of the best told stories in anime and manga, and I think it definitely deserves a look for this game down the road. But that's the first idea I wanted to throw out there. Now, the second one that I wanted to talk about is going to be one that a few people have talked about, but I see far fewer people talk about this one than Attack on Titan, and that is going to be Yu Yu Hakusho. Now, Yu Yu Hakusho is one of my favorite animes of all time. A lot of people grew up as Dragon Ball Z kids, and I did too, but my love for kind of the fighting anime as a kid was always with Yu Yu Hakusho. I love the characters, I love the story, I love everything about that series outside of the OVA, which we don't talk about, but I digress. Now, with Yu Yu Hakusho, I feel like that's a really easy one to do, to be honest with you guys. I feel like it makes the most sense out of all, well, I was going to say all 3 of these ideas, but you guys can guess what the next one I'm going to talk about is, and that one makes the most sense, but this one makes sense. Yu Yu Hakusho, being that it is formatted the way it is, the characters are the way they are, it makes all the sense in the world for it to be a collab. I mean, just think about it. You know, you have Yusuke, you have Kurama, and you have Hiei as kind of your big 3. Probably have Kuwabara in there as well, but I mean, who's excited for a Kuwabara? But anyway, when it comes to those 4 characters, it's pretty self-explanatory what you can do with them. You know, you have Hiei with the darkness, obviously, then you have Kurama with the poison, you could have Yusuke with starlight, so on and so forth. It's a pretty easy thing to do, in my opinion. You know, you bring in Toguro as one of your characters as well, he probably has bleed or something like that, so it's a pretty easy thing to do, in my opinion. It makes a lot of sense for that anime to be a collab for this game. Now, Yu Yu Hakusho has collabed with a ton of mobile games in the past couple of years, most recently with Grand Summoners, and generally they have kind of the same pool of characters in those collabs, so I think that the 5 characters that I've named off would pretty much fit the bill. But yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho is a no-brainer, in my opinion, for a collab for this game. Easy thing to adapt for this game. By no means anywhere near as complicated, even though I don't think it's necessarily the most complicated thing in the world as Attack on Titan would be. So yeah, overall, Yu Yu Hakusho, in my opinion, deserves a collab for this game. I think it would be very easy to do, and I think a lot of people would really like that. Yu Yu Hakusho to this day still has a huge following. It is still revered as one of the best fighting animes of all time. People love that anime and really love those characters, and to bring them to life in this game and to pit them against the characters in the King of Fighters universe, I feel like it's just a match made in heaven. So that is going to be the second collab I would like to see. And of course, the final one that I would like to see is the one we all want to see, the dream, the absolute fantasy of having a Capcom versus SNK style mobile game, which would be so easy if we could just get a darn Street Fighter collab. This has been the one that people have wanted and begged for years. Since this game released, people have asked, please give us Street Fighter. And recently, with the goings-on between Capcom and SNK, the time, if it's ever going to come, is now. Like, if we don't get a Street Fighter collab in 2021, it's never going to happen. With all of the things that have been going on behind the scenes between Capcom and SNK, I cannot foresee a future in which we do not have characters like Ryu, Ken, Akuma, all these different characters that we know and love added into this game. And as far as a lineup goes, that's actually a little bit trickier, because when you talk about Street Fighter, there are so many characters in Street Fighter that would make sense, and they could easily do. So picking 5 or 6 of them is just difficult. But off the top of my head, characters that I think are shoo-ins if it ever does happen, obviously you're talking Ryu and Ken. That goes without saying. One of them probably be your free character. And then from there, you get into your Akumas, your Bisons, your Chun-Lis of the world. So I feel like those would be 5 that would be a lock. Anybody beyond that, if there was a 6th character in there anywhere, I mean, 5 at that point is probably going to be the max. But if there was a 6th, I mean, you could do anything. You could go Guile, you could go Blanca, you could go Sagat, you could go any number of ways, Cammy, all these different characters that would make sense. So with Street Fighter, it's tailor-made for this game. Everybody wants to see it, like I said. Me personally, I am a huge fan of the characters and the lore of Street Fighter, as well as a lot of the classic Street Fighter games. Now, admittedly, I'm not as big of a fan of the newer iterations of the Street Fighter video games. I don't find them as kind of, I don't know, they're just not my cup of tea. I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding Street Fighter V, especially right now and all that going on, but we won't get into all that. But Street Fighter does feel like a natural marriage to this game for obvious reasons. And so really, at the end of the day, we've talked about in the past, Netmarble has used Street Fighter in, I believe it was 7 Nights they used it in as a collab. And so hopefully it does happen. Now, as far as things that I don't want to see, because I kind of want to talk about that a little bit too, because those are the 3 main collabs I would love to see in this game. As far as things I don't want to see, I really don't want to see Netmarble get too into just kind of crossing over with their own IPs and things like that again. I really don't. Like, it's cool that it's, I understand from a coding standpoint, it's a lot easier to use assets that you already have. It's a lot cheaper, so on and so forth. Things that belong to Netmarble make sense to them. I get that, but I really don't want to see that again. I want to see some of these IPs that we all really love that would make so much sense for this game and really broaden the reach of this game and the interest level of this game. Because really, to me, that's where it's at. Like, for instance, out of all 3 of the things we've talked about, if Attack on Titan or Street Fighter were added into this game as a collab, there would be a ton of new traffic and new eyes on this game. And I feel like this game needs that at this point. It doesn't need kind of another middle-of-the-road IP that isn't necessarily going to open any doors. Like, even with the WWE thing, even though WWE, don't get me started, I actually watch a lot of wrestling, not necessarily WWE, and I can't stand WWE, but that's a different discussion for another time. You know, it didn't really necessarily open a lot of doors, so I feel like that's a kind of a bigger deal. Just kind of get more eyes on this product. But yeah, those are pretty much kind of just my off-the-cuff thoughts on this. Now, obviously, there's a ton of ideas that have floated around the internet for collabs for this game. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think, what you would like to see. I would love to hear your ideas. Make sure to let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you think of these three. And here, obviously, these are not my own personal ideas. They've been floated before, like I said. But hey, I love them. So anyway, guys, that's the video for this week. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.